series.
Yeah, baby!
UCF and South Florida both have not had a long history in college football, but this natural and budding rivalry, the war on I-4, has everything on the line today. You're watching college football presented by Kay Jewelers. And now there are only 3 unbeaten teams remaining in college football, only 1 in the state of Florida after Pitt upsets unbeaten and number 2 Miami for its second top 2 win in the last 2 seasons. The only remaining unbeaten team in the state of Florida is right here in Orlando. 15th ranked UCF squares up with South Florida. What a way to bring you into Spectrum Stadium. Adam Amin, Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath will join us in a moment as well. How about that score from Pittsburgh?
Didn't see that one coming. Man, oh man, this has huge college football playoff ramifications. Going to make that tougher on the committee coming up on Tuesday. But wow, what an upset. Miami couldn't get their offense going. Malik Rozier actually went to the bench. They came out flat. Give it up to Pat Narduzzi and Pitt to finish off a tough season with a big-time win.
Impressive win there. Meanwhile, here we've got 2 very impressive head coaches in this budding rivalry. Scott Frost in his second season and Charlie Strong in his first at South Florida. Neither have missed a beat.
And Charlie Strong changes scenery, right? He leaves Texas where it's a tough situation, takes over a veteran team with a lot of success last year. He got the seniors to buy in, and they put together a great season. And Scott Frost, maybe the biggest and best turnaround in all of college football the last 2 years, from not winning a game 2 years ago to unbeaten, and maybe the hottest young coach in all of college coaching.
How about today? The winner of this game goes to the American Conference Championship game. It's the first time this game really means something.
The war on I-4. It's a rivalry, and when the stakes are higher, it means that much more today. The winner goes to the conference championship game. There's bragging rights at stake. There's going to be a lot of emotion. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And Molly, we've got 2 linebackers in the heart of these 2 defenses that really headline this game.
Yeah, that's right, Adam. Linebacker Shaquem Griffin is the emotional leader of the Knights. He is an emotional leader for them, and he's a Florida native. He's preaching the importance of this game, especially after the Bulls beat them the last 2 seasons. He's telling his teammates, enough is enough. We can't be satisfied with 10-0. Our season cannot end here. And UCF's last regular season loss was to the Bulls last year, and that's giving USF's linebacker Augie Sanchez and his teammates a lot of confidence. He's saying people are seeing them like they're some superhuman team that can't be beat. Well, we're not intimidated. We've beat them before. We know how to beat them. So a lot of emotions, a lot of history in this matchup, you guys. You may see things getting chippy early on.
Molly, there are 189 players from the state of Florida in this game, representing 129 high schools. Everything on the line in this rivalry matchup. The winner to the American title game. Back in Orlando, you're watching the American Conference on ESPN. UCF in South Florida with the winner winning the American Conference Eastern Division and heading to the conference title game. Chris Barr on the return for South Florida. And he'll work his way out across the 30-yard line. Quinton Flowers has put together an outstanding career, and he has done it in the face of terrible tragedy. Lost his father when he was 7 years old. He was killed in a drive-by shooting. He was still in a high school football uniform when his mother Nancy lost a battle with cancer 5 years ago. And the week he became the starting quarterback for the South Florida Bulls, his brother was shot and killed while playing football with kids. Through all of this, an outstanding offensive player, a 29-8 record, and a chance to head to the American title game. And on first down, it's Dearness Johnson getting minimal yardage. Shaquem Griffin, the excellent linebacker, on the stop for UCF. This was last week on senior night. Quinton Flowers had no family to come out of the tunnel with, and it was Charlie Strong, who had his arm around Quinton Flowers in a very emotional moment last week. One of the great stories in college football, this senior out of Miami. All day to throw, and has Mitchell Wilcox for a first down into UCF territory.
Got to give this offensive line a lot of credit here. Excellent protection for Quinton Flowers to survey the field. He goes to his first read, his second read, all the way to his third read across the field to pick up a nice first down.
Tyree McCants with space. And there goes Tyree McCants. Inside the 5 and in. What a touchdown.
Tyree McCants looks more like a linebacker than a receiver at 5'11", 225. They love to give him the ball out in space on the edge. Excellent blocking outside by Dillon, the tight end, as well as Wilcox. And the big-bodied man, he can pick him up and put him down as he drags the UCF defender into the end zone. That's just 1-2. And the wide receiver gets South Florida on the board early.
Back-to-back weeks with a touchdown for McCants. And South Florida on the road. An impressive, explosive series to go up 7-0.
Coming in, it was UCF with the explosive offense. They hit so many big plays. But to start the game, USF, South Florida, the Bulls, strike quick and strike early to show that they came to play in this I-4 rivalry.
Against the unbeaten UCF Knights, led by Scott Frost in his second season. One of the hottest young names in coaching. Certainly will be a name thrown out for multiple jobs as the coaching carousel continues to turn. Meanwhile, Charlie Strong struggled at Texas after a great run at Louisville. Comes back to a state he knows very well as a recruiter and does not miss a beat with a veteran-laden team. And already the Bulls on top 7-0. Mike Hughes is a dangerous return man. A punt and a kick for a touchdown already this year. And he'll have an opportunity from the 3. Works his way out to the 32-yard line. There is a penalty marker thrown on the play. Adam Savoie is our lead official, part of this American Conference crew. This looked to be late. And the side judge is indicating perhaps there was a player who ripped another player off of a pile, which would be a personal foul.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team, number 21, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Khalid McGee got tagged for that penalty against South Florida. So the defensive coordinator for South Florida, Brian Jean-Marie, had very effusive praise for a quarterback that does not get enough credit, Mackenzie Milton. Milton checks it down to Adrian Killens, and he's got 8 yards on first down. He has a little Baker Mayfield in him. Pretty good comparison for the guy who's leading the Heisman Trophy ballots.
Very efficient with the football, the two most efficient quarterbacks you saw in the graphic. But in just his sophomore season, Mackenzie Milton, his ability to process information so quickly. This offense is so dynamic. So many different guys touch the football. He gets them in and out of every play, gets them in the right play so that they can function at such a high level. Talking with the offensive coordinator, Troy Walters, had never seen this sophomore pick up an offense so quickly.
Trying to run for the first down, and Adrian Killens moves the sticks. This is the #1 scoring offense in the country. They have scored 30+ in all 10 games this year.
Go fast, and they spread it around.
Slick handoff to Killings. And the speedster is into the red zone.
Adrian Killings, he has track speed. Big time playmaker on the outside, a home run hitter. And as he gets to the perimeter, the speed just too much for the USF defense.
Quick toss, incomplete. Looking for Gabriel Davis, the freshman. Talk about processing information quickly. Dusty, you talked about the ball distribution in this offense. They're so versatile. So many different wrinkles in this UCF scheme.
They don't have certain players they go to. The ball finds the open man. So it makes it very tough to defend these guys. You can't just take away one or two guys because McKenzie Milton will find where the defense is not.
Pickup of 2 by Killings. Dumps it off for Killings out of the backfield. And he gets shut down by Khalid McGee, but a penalty marker was thrown. This could be McGee's second flag of this game already.
You've got to be smarter if you're Khalid McGee.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 21. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
The Bulls go conservative. They only rush 3. They drop 8. The pass is dropped off underneath. You rally up tackle. And then a full-blown body slam out of bounds. It's got to be smart if you're Khalid McGee. Run him out of bounds. Get him out of bounds. No need for that.
Killings down to the 3. It would have been 4th down. Likely would have forced a field goal try had McGee not been tagged with that penalty. UCF has been very strong in the red zone. Milton with a little bit of magic for a touchdown. Matthew Wright ties it up at 7. If the first 4 minutes are any indication, you better stick around, folks. This is gonna be a good one, with the winner headed to the American Conference title game. 7 up on I-4. Welcome to college football presented by K Jewelers as part of the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series. 5'11", 185-pound sophomore, McKenzie Milton. He's not going to blow you away with his stature, but his skill is impressive.
He's got it all, Adam. Can throw from within the pocket, makes plays with his legs, and takes care of the football. He's had an extremely efficient and outstanding sophomore season.
Chris Barr fumbled it into the end zone, and he will take a knee. Let's go back to the touchdown.
2 defenders to look at. The defensive end, Greg Reeves, as well as Nico Sautel. They both get fooled by the action, giving it to Adrian Killings, the running back.
Yeah, and you guys, after USF's last touchdown, Quentin Flowers walked back and forth to all of his teammates, telling them to stop celebrating and calm down. And Tyree McCants told me no matter the stage, big or small, Quentin is always the calming presence on their team. He's keeping his guys in check early. We'll see if they can respond.
They need him to immediately after UCF's offense got going on their first series.
Correction. USF has elected to enforce the penalty from the previous spot. We will re-kick from the 30-yard line.
Well, apparently there's a 5-yard penalty here against UCF. So scrap the touchback. And they will have to get their special teams unit back out to re-kick from 5 yards further back. That's a break for USF. We already saw Miami go down earlier today. Oklahoma still has a very good shot to make the playoffs, sitting at number 4 in the rankings. They'll host West Virginia, and then Clemson goes on the road in that Palmetto State showdown. Major playoff implications there as well. Huge ESPN doubleheader tomorrow. This game's available on the ESPN app. Barr will have a shot from the 8-yard line. And UCF is going to come out on the better end of this. Richie Grant ends up keeping Barr shy of the 25-yard line. So here comes Quinton Flowers once again.
We haven't seen it so far, only one series. But when things break down, that's when Quinton Flowers is at his best. Can play Houdini at times and a dynamic playmaker in the open field with the football in his hands.
Get chopped down by Tony Garrod. 4 yards there. Plenty of time. Looking for Elkanah Dillon, who comes back to the ball and has it inside the UCF 40.
Well, it's just a 4-man rush by UCF. This offensive line doing an excellent job giving Quinton Flowers all day to throw the football as his tight end Dillon gets open down the field.
An offensive line that has a lot of veterans on it. Cameron Ruff, the center. Marcus Norman, the right tackle. Some very impressive, well-stocked offensive linemen for this USF bunch.
And continuity. All 5 guys have started every game so far this season.
Johnson gets swallowed up by Shaquan Burkett.
Penetration killed that play. Both backside, left tackle, left guard, Mays and Hall trying to pull, but it was penetration by the nose tackle. Number 9, Tristan Hill, disrupting that play. Remember, you want to bring pressure, you want to make it tough on Quinton Flowers, but you got to keep him caged up. If you get outside your rush lanes, that's where he can break loose and make plays.
Run it again, and that ball is on the ground. And somehow Dearness Johnson comes out with it and lands just shy of the sticks. And now 4th down and short coming up. Decision time for Charlie Strong.
Well, I think based off the play call, they were using 2 plays to get the first down. It's outstanding effort by Dearness Johnson just to gain a few yards.
Extra offensive lineman in there for USF.
Timeout. UCF's. They're first. 30 seconds.
The Knights will use a timeout here to get set defensively. USF and UCF, 2 campuses separated by less than 100 miles of interstate. These are not long-standing programs. UCF began play in the late 70s and didn't go to Division I at the FBS level until 1996. USF didn't even field a football team until 2 decades ago in 1997. This is only the 9th meeting between these two teams, so it's not a long-standing rivalry, but this is the first year where it really means a ton with the winner going to the title game.
The stakes are at the all-time high. And let's face it, rivalries are at their best when there's great competition. We have that and some here this afternoon.
USF has won the last 2 meetings by a combined 58 points. Both teams are ranked in the AP poll for the first time. UCF 15th in the college football playoff rankings. It's Johnson burrowing, and he looks to be short on the initial spot. Pat Jasinski made the stop, and UCF will come up with a turnover on downs.
Well, Pat Jasinski has taken his game to the next level this season. The night defense needed him to. He's done that and some. It's going to be a simple inside zone, and Pat Jasinski meets him at the first down line, says, not up in here, not today.
College football on ABC is presented by K Jewelers. K Jewelers, every kiss begins with K. And in part by Honda. Great deals are waiting for you now at your local Honda dealer.
Since the 1950s, Black Friday has been known as the first day of the holiday shopping season. Those are folks lined up very early this morning in Orlando to get their hands on some clothes, maybe some toys, maybe that big screen TV they've been waiting on. 115 million people are expected to be shopping today. We had a different kind of lineup for this one today here in Orlando, though, brother.
They were packing it in early. Like showing up early for pregame. Tough to find a seat. We have a sellout here today. Great scene for college football.
Scott Frost told us, as good as the program has been these last 3 or 4 months, this is the first time he really feels like this place was going to be full. And this UCF fan base has delivered with this crucial of a game today. Otis Anderson is in the backfield, the versatile receiver and running back. Jordan Akins has a first down.
Jordan Akins, a playmaker at tight end, complete tight end. He can block well, and he is a weapon on the outside for this offense. 9 explosive receptions this year of over 20 yards. Very nifty with the football in his hands.
Milton running out of time. And he kept his feet somehow. Apparently did not step out of bounds, and he's down to the 45 of South Florida.
Was good inside pressure initially by Deidrin Sanat and Greg Reeves from the edge. As we mentioned, though, Milton can play a little bit Houdini. He tries a tightrope. I'm not so sure he didn't possibly step
Ruling
out.
on the field as the runner did not step out of bounds and gained a first down. Previous play is under further review.
He was close, tightroping the sidelines, Adam.
Pretty good look of it here. And there are a couple of spots where he could have stepped out of bounds. Potentially here. Potentially here.
I think that one's the one that they're going to get him on. It's close, but it looks like the outside of that cleat. What do you think? You keep it in?
I think there's enough there to overturn it, personally. We'll see if the replay booth agrees with us or not. Scott Frost hoping that this is a first down. Hard to see there, but did a really nice job of tight-roping that sideline, showing a lot of agility.
Not a big guy, 5'11", 185. Good speed. Very good runner in the open field.
Originally a commit to Hawaii. Like many from Hawaii, he was a huge Marcus Mariota fan. He would watch every Oregon game. Of course, when Scott Frost was the offensive coordinator with Marcus Mariota at Oregon. When Frost went to UCF, it was an easy decision for Mackenzie Milton to make. And he ended up leaving Kapolei, Hawaii to go 4,700 miles across the country to play in Orlando at UCF.
He told us it was a great decision. The team that he's been able to
After
join.
review, the quarterback stepped out of bounds at the UCF 45.5-yard line. It was second down from the left hash. He's put 8:07 on the game clock.
This team that he's become a part of, and really the offense that he is able to lead.
Enough there to overturn it. It ends up being a 10-yard adjustment. And it will set up second down and 8 from UCF's own 45. Here's Otis Anderson. Excellent perimeter blocking that time by UCF to open up the lane for Anderson.
Traquan Smith, 4 on the outside. He's a fantastic receiver. He's got great ball skills. He can catch it. But the one thing Troy Walters, the offensive coordinator, wanted more from was blocking on the edge. He gets locked on, drives his man. It's an area that he's improved on, and being the veteran presence in that wide receiver room with a lot of young guys, they've all followed suit.
Killings down to the 39.
Troy Walter told us they have a mantra in the wide receiver room. No block, no rock. When you don't have the football, if you don't help out your teammates, you're not going to get the football. This wide receiver room has really bought in. It's because of Traquan Smith's leadership and dedication to doing everything right.
Milton will run it. And he's got the first down to the 31-yard line. The coverage of the PK80 Invitational presented by State Farm continues tonight on ESPN and the ESPN second down. Earlier today, right here on ABC, Pittsburgh with the huge upset of second-ranked Miami. First loss of the year for the Canes. They still have the ACC championship game next week on ABC against Clemson. Thrown behind Akins. Good coverage by Devin Abraham. With the Miami loss, these are the only 3 unbeaten teams remaining in college football.
And UCF, they feel disrespected. They feel they should be much higher than 15, not getting all the respect that they deserve from the College Football Playoff Committee.
Anderson on the edge, and he's got a first down into the red zone. I think maybe the one that surprised everybody was the fact that Mississippi State, a 3-loss team, was ranked ahead of UCF in this week's rankings. Mississippi State lost last night in the Egg Bowl with that unfortunate injury to quarterback Nick Fitzgerald. Thrown behind Akins once again, incomplete.
That was one of those different arm angles we see from Mackenzie Milton. A little bit of pressure on his face. He drops down to 3/4 and slings it out to Jordan Akins, a bit behind his intended target. And Mackenzie Milton told us, you know, one of the things he really worked on with his mechanics, his elbow would get too low, and they've worked a lot on keeping his elbow up. He's got that quick release, and they're continually working on throwing from different arm angles in this offense.
Milton has a man. It is caught! Touchdown UCF, Dredrick Snelson. Frederick Snelson with an impressive catch. And UCF's offense with an equally impressive drive to take the lead.
Mackenzie Milton is as good as advertised. We saw what he could do with his legs. He gets outside the pocket, takes a big shot, finds his target in the back of the field. UCF on top. The quarterback likes it.
For great holiday deals during the Happy Holidays sales event.
Do you need the most trusted battery this holiday? Maybe not. Maybe.
Need wiper blades?
Dedrick Snelson's working out of the slot. Going to take a deep route over the back of the end zone. Zone coverage from USF. Nobody stays with him. And he's just left wide open in the back of the end zone. But Milton will always find his man. Excellent vision as he's rolling outside the pocket. Not worried about taking the shot. Delivers a pass high and up top. And Dedrick Snelson climbs the ladder. Gets a nice touchdown grab for the Knights.
UCF always has some interesting TD celebrations. That's always something fun to watch with this offense that's used to celebrating. The leading offense in the nation already has 14 in the first quarter. Chris Barr has some space, but he'll get shut down shy of the 25.
Seems like some energy over here on the UCF sidelines, Adam. A little juice going.
Absolutely. And now it's time for today's I love the duck. Trivia question. Clemson and South Carolina tomorrow on ESPN. The second longest uninterrupted series in the FBS. What is the longest uninterrupted series? We'll have the answer for you in just a bit. Flowers has a man. What a snare by McCants. The second huge play for Tyree McCants takes him inside the 25.
Quentin Flowers does a great job with his shoulders. Screen and go. He's going to fake it to the outside. His receiver, Tyree McCants, is acting initially like he's going to be blocking. He just continues to run down the field on a go ball. A nice pass from Quentin Flowers.
Nothing there for Darius Tice. It'll be second down.
USF has got to find a way to get this rushing attack going. This is what they hang their hat on. 8th in the country in running the football. Have not been able to get it going so far.
Flowers will throw it away. 3rd and long coming up for USF. Matchup of the two best offenses and the two best defenses in the American Conference.
Showing pressure. If they bring pressure, look for a spy to be on Flowers.
They've got one. Flowers will toss it up to the sideline. Mike Hughes had the coverage on Mitchell Wilcox, and the UCF pressure looking sharp again.
UCF picks and chooses their spots when they're going to bring pressure. Bringing multiple guys off the edge and keeping someone alert as a spy on Quentin Flowers. They talked about they've got to keep him caged up. He got outside the pocket, but it was excellent man-to-man coverage down the field.
.41-yarder for Emilio Nadelman. First time he has missed since the Tulane game. He had made 7 straight. South Florida still trails by 7 in the first. Time for the answer to today's Aflac trivia question. Clemson and South Carolina with the second longest uninterrupted series. What's number 1?
I saw this a few weeks ago. It's not Oklahoma State, though they're close. Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Nailed it. He got it. Battle for Paul Bunyan's axe. 111 straight meetings, and you'll see that game tomorrow on ABC. Wisconsin, the number 5 team in the college football playoff rankings. Trying to go unbeaten into the Big Ten championship game. Gain of 1 for Anderson. Have to go on the road against the Gophers tomorrow, and PJ Fleck has put together a serviceable year in year number 1.
They have. I just think Wisconsin a little bit too much, both sides of the football for the Gophers. But I'm sure most people thought Miami would be in the same boat today against Pitt. So
we've already seen 1 unbeaten go down. We've got another one here in UCF. Milton with a beautiful strike for a first down. Finds Gabriel Davis, the true freshman.
They really like what Gabriel Davis has brought to this team. True freshman, he's 6'3", 220. Local kid out of Seminole, and they said from day 1. He's been a starter on this team. Plays like he's been here 2 or 3 years. Wise beyond his years.
Anderson hit shy of the sticks. Good play made by Ronnie Hoggins. This is an impressive UCF offense against a really talented veteran South Florida defense. What you've expected so far?
Yeah, McKenzie Milton's been fantastic. I mean, he's moved the ball extremely well. Efficiency in the pass game. He's made some play with his legs as well. The one thing that I've been surprised, USF has not been able to run the football whatsoever, and that's who they are. They've depended more on Flowers' ability to throw it than run it.
Nice late decision to find Michael Kalubiali, but there is a penalty marker thrown back where the pass was tossed.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 48, player in the boundary with a late hit. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Spencer Atkinson got tagged for it. They said 48.
When McKenzie Milton told us all about the different arm angles, you see him drop all the way down, almost sidearm, as he finds Michael Kalubiali on the sidelines. Excellent job by the quarterback, McKenzie Milton, forcing the defense to come to him and keeping his eyes down the field and finding his target.
I think that was a misidentification by the official. Milton with a late pitch to Killins, and UCF with another impressive score. Milton doing it all in quarter 1.
McKenzie Milton doing his best Scott Frost impersonation, running the triple option. Love the fake, and they keep the pitch relationship. McKenzie Milton, as he's being tackled going down, perfect flip to Adrian Killins as he walks to the house.
He was 5 yards past the line of scrimmage before he pitched it. You said it. Scott Frost was an outstanding option quarterback at Nebraska. And not only was he a great quarterback then, he still runs scout team during spring ball and during fall practices. Anytime they get set to play an option team, say like a Navy, he's the one running the scout.
Just like they draw it up. Excellent fake pitch initially. As he's being tackled, understands that his running back's going to be there. Keep excellent pitch relationship, quarterback to running back. Could not have drawn it up any better.
Nothing there for Chris Barr. Long field in front of South Florida as we check in with Kevin Negandhi.
Kevin Negandhi here with you with the AT&T Field Pass. And Drew Lock, what a season he has had so far for Mizzou. That touchdown pass is 41st. He's the single-season SEC record for touchdown passes. That is Drew Lock. It belongs to him. We're tied at 28 apiece.
Thanks very much, Kevin.
You can see all the energy here on UCF's sideline. A lot of celebrating, a lot of dancing. The message is to keep the energy up. As far as USF, Quentin Flowers trying to calm his teammates down. They're jawing back and forth a lot with some of the fans here. So very different sidelines.
And that energy level has increased as this game has worn on. They call this the bounce house. When it gets going, it's one of the great fun atmospheres in college football. This is a sellout today at Spectrum Stadium. He got it to Tice, but Pat Jasinski was not fooled.
Jemias Pittman, the defensive end, up the field and just really explosive and penetrating. He's unblocked. They're going to read him. He doesn't sit at the line of scrimmage. He forces it, attacks it, forces Flowers to make a decision, and disrupts the play.
UCF blitz. Great catch by Dillon, and he has the first down across the 20.
Big time throw by Quentin Flowers. Tight coverage on his tight end. Elkanah Dillon.
Now will try to use his feet, but good penetration by Tony Garrod.
Defensive line, they told us they're very aware of Flowers' ability to get to the edge. Garrod gets off his block, just gets a leg, but he gets enough.
Flowers, incomplete, looking for Darnell Solomon. Well, with the Miami loss, where do they end up in the next college football playoff top 25? Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern. On ESPN and the ESPN app. Huge games on rivalry weekend that will have a great impact on what the playoff rankings look like come Tuesday. 3rd down and 14.
Crucial down for South Florida. Not optimal. They're going to have to find a way to convert. Again, UCF defense showing pressure. 6 guys at the line of scrimmage.
They get the snap off. To Solomon, incomplete. A tough throw forced by this UCF defense again.
3rd down, we're seeing UCF's defense bring a lot of pressure and force the ball out of Quentin Flowers' hand quickly. Penetration by Titus Davis off the edge. Quentin Flowers outside the pocket. Wasn't a bad throw, but better coverage by Richie Grant.
Jonathan Hernandez is one of the top punters in the conference. Mike Hughes is one of the best return men in the country. He's got a kick return, a punt return, and a pick 6 this year. South Florida will use a timeout here before 4th down, which gives us some time to take a look at the latest college football playoff rankings. They're brought to you by Capital One. So Miami, again, the big story today on this Black Friday, the loss already to Pitt. So that number 2 ranking will likely go down. but they still have a huge game against Clemson in the ACC championship game next week.
I still think the winner of that game is going to get in.
You think so?
I mean, it gets a little dicey. I mean, we'll see exactly. But, yeah, you win the ACC championship, you're a one-loss team. I feel like you're going to get in. Now, the big conversation was if Miami's undefeated and they lose a close one to Clemson, can they still get in? To me, that becomes an elimination game. You win, you get in. You lose, you're out.
Hughes. Out near midfield. The job of the College Football Playoff Committee is to find the 4 best teams. And how do you find that? Well, it's a combination. Resume, eye test, who have you beaten, where did you beat them, domination in games. Mike Oresco, who's the commissioner of the American Conference, has made it very clear he's not particularly pleased with the current system. Remember, UCF was behind a 3-loss Mississippi State team in the latest rankings. He said he thinks it might take a minor miracle for a group of 5 team to make the college football playoff, and I don't think he's necessarily wrong by any means.
I agree with you. A 3-loss team over this UCF football team who's unblemished, and by the way, has a 28-point win on the road at a team like Maryland, a 27-point win against a quality team in Memphis. And you look up and down this schedule that UCF's played, they beat some good football teams, not just beat them, but blow most of the teams out. So without question, they're not getting the respect that they deserve.
And Mike Oresco has turned to calling it the Power 6, saying that this conference is good enough to be on the same level as those other major conferences that we're so used to seeing. And this Central Florida bunch, sitting at 10-0, the best start in program history, has a 21-7 lead on its rival through 1 quarter. We'll return to Orlando after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
Meatball on white. Next.
Welcome back to College Football, presented by K Jewelers as part of the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series. The war on I-4, with the winner heading to the American Conference Championship game as a representative of the East. It's the 3rd year that the American Conference has been split into 2 divisions and will have a championship game. 5th year in the conference for both of these I-4 rivals. A penalty marker for a false start to start quarter number 2.
False start. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Memphis has already clinched the West. They will be the representative in the American Conference title game from that side of the ledger. The only loss that Memphis has this year was at the hands of UCF in late September. They boat raced them. But Memphis a much, much better team now than they were then. Here's Anderson. Back towards the original line of scrimmage at the 49.
Wyatt Miller just got away with a hold on Mike Love on the edge. Surprised this wasn't called. Outside the framework, has his shoulder. Instead, it goes out to Otis Anderson, maybe the most versatile player, even as a true freshman on this offense.
Right back to him. Tackled by Reeves, shy of the 45.
Otis Anderson, he's really come on the last few weeks. You'll see him line up all over the place. Slot, outside receiver, play some running back. They're motioning him from the wide receiver into the backfield. Excellent skill set, the ability to run routes, catch the football. Very smooth and dynamic in the open field with the ball as well.
First punt for Mac Loudermilk of UCF. Tajay Fullwood with a fair catch. South Florida's offense trying to get back going. one of the best rushing attacks in the country, had just 7 rushing yards in the opening quarter. Can the Bulls turn it up?
Back here in Orlando, and UCF's defensive line is hyped up. Their defensive coordinator, Eric Shenander, telling that group they can't run the ball on us. Their quarterback can't make his read, so keep it up and keep pressuring him. So a lot of confidence here on the Knights sideline, guys.
Yeah, only 7 yards on the ground allowed by this UCF defense so far.
This was the key coming into the game. USF had to be able to run the football, control the line of scrimmage, and try to control this game. They ran for 352 last year in this matchup, just 7 so far today.
And Dearness Johnson gets hit by Titus Davis.
Titus Davis, outside linebacker in this 3-4 scheme. Very good off the edge. Unblocked. It's a nice open field tackle.
Flowers has a completion to McCants for the first down. He's done more damage through the air than he has on the ground so far.
Good accuracy today for Quentin Flowers throwing the football. We haven't seen the dynamic ability utilizing his legs just yet.
Plenty of time. Has a man loose. McCants again. Down near the 25 of UCF. But there is a penalty flag back at the 16-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 2. After the 6 of the goal, first down.
So Shaquan Burkett will add on to the big gainer with the face mask penalty.
Excellent protection again from this USF offensive line. All day for Quentin Flowers to throw the football in a busted coverage down the field as they turn Tyree McCants loose and wide open down the sidelines. Eric Shenander's got to be hot right now with a coverage like that.
Johnson, the 10. Eric Shenander is in his 2nd season as the defensive coordinator for UCF. A former walk-on offensive lineman at Iowa. Was an assistant at Northern Iowa when Scott Frost was the wide receiver coach. Then was with him at Oregon as well as a linebacker coach.
Utilizing some quarterback run game, quarterback counter, quarterback sweep. Ball in Flowers' hands.
Flag thrown. Flowers cuts into the end zone. We have to check the marker, though.
It's going to be a hold, brother. Inside.
Holding. Offense. Number 73. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
And Jeremy Hall with a hold on the inside. Got a glimpse there of how difficult Quentin Flowers can be in the open field. He's got some sweet feet to make you miss.
This is where South Florida has struggled in the red zone, cashing in with touchdowns. Another penalty marker to the end zone. Over the top of McCants. Let's go check the flag.
Illegal motion, offense, number 8, moving forward at the snap. Penalties declined, third down.
It was McCants on the illegal motion. McCants already has a career high in receiving today with 168 yards. But it's third down and long for South Florida.
Offensive coordinator Sterling Gilbert told us about the red zone deficiencies. He said it's all about finishing. You got to execute at a high level. Penalties on back-to-back plays, not the execution the offensive coordinator is looking for.
Corner blitz. Flowers to the end zone. What a catch! Temi Alaka, touchdown Bulls. The grad transfer from Rice with an over-the-top catch for a score. Quentin Flowers dropping dimes in Orlando so far. Nadelman misses the extra points. The fourth time this year he's missed one in 48 tries. So it is an 8-point game as we hit a timeout.
Sometimes you just got to give your receivers an opportunity to make a play on the football. Quentin Flowers is going to take his shot down the field and leaves you wondering, are you Orlando proud? Are you Tampa proud? Quentin Flowers was fantastic on this pass. Eyes here to try to draw the safety, but he's just going to work back here. And he delivers a dime to his target, Temi Alaka. Ball placement on the outside shoulder. Excellent adjustment by the wide receiver. The coverage is good, but the pass and the catch, even better. Outside shoulder, the adjustment to the football. Outstanding job by Quentin Flowers, giving his receiver, Temi Alaka, an opportunity to make a play on the ball. And USF back in this game.
And Flowers continues to do it through the air, spreading the ball around again. Touchback for UCF as we check in with Kevin Nagandi in the studio.
Adam, now let's take a look at the CarMax Drive. What's possible update in Lincoln. Scott Frost alma mater. Tanner Lee, Nebraska. Beautiful catch here by Stanley Morgan Jr. We're tied 7 apiece. Nebraska, Iowa, the start of the second quarter. Back to you guys.
Scott Frost still has family in Lincoln, Nebraska. If you were in Philadelphia last week when UCF beat Temple, there were plenty of Nebraska and Tennessee fans holding up signs saying, come on over, we'd love to have you. One of the hottest names in coaching right now after the turnaround performance the last 2 years. Adrian Killins with a good run out to the 39-yard line.
And sitting with him yesterday, you can understand exactly why this guy's had so much success. Preaches to unity. He's got a gruffness about him, a roughness. I think he gets that from his former head coach, Tom Osborne. And he just gets it. You can tell has complete control over this program, over his coaches, over his players. And talking with his players, they'd run through a wall for that man. They love it.
First down to Akins. A lot of influences for Scott Frost over the course of his career. He's worked with a lot of really good head coaches, and he considers Bill Walsh, whom he started with at Stanford before transferring to Tom Osborne and Nebraska. Worked under both Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Worked under John Gruden as well when he was in the NFL, and then of course was Chip Kelly's and eventually Mark Helfrich's offensive coordinator at Oregon, where he really learned the staples of the offense that UCF is running right now.
He took a little bit from every one of these coaches, whether he played for them, he coached with them, and he's formed his own style. And the success is off the charts.
He credits his parents who continued to push him. We mentioned Mark Helfrich. Raheem Morris has been a big influence on him, too.
Well, if people realize he had a nice NFL stint as a defensive back, as a safety. He was an option quarterback at Nebraska. He said, I just want an opportunity to play. Put together a really nice career.
And Raheem Morris was the guy who basically told him, hey, you'd be a heck of a coach. You need to get into it. And sure enough, he's turned out a 10-0 season in his second year as a head coach. Underneath to Killins. Tried to cover a lot of space. And South Florida's defense getting the job done so far on this series.
This is just a simple screen. I thought excellent job right here by the linebacker, Khalid McGee. He reads it, he stays outside, he turns and runs, and he gets a big stop on third down.
Remember, he had a couple of penalties in that first quarter. I'll try to make up for that the rest of the way. Fullwood, fair catch near the 20. So here come the Bulls again, down by 8. We've seen a whole lot of offense so far in Orlando.
College football on ABC, presented by Kay Jewelers, is brought to you by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific. And Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs.
This was Wednesday night at the UCF Team Hotel just off campus here in Orlando, celebrating their Thanksgiving together. And on Black Friday, they have shown up at Spectrum Stadium for one of the biggest games in UCF football history. Facing their rival, South Florida, with the winner headed to the American Conference Championship game. Flowers running out of time, and down he goes. Jamias Pittman finally finished it off.
Jamias Pittman, second team All-AAC a season ago. He's just relentless in his pass rush. It was good initial blocking. Flowers had all kinds of time, nowhere to go, but Pittman doesn't give up on the play, continues to work, and gets a big sack.
Felt like a coverage sack there, too.
Absolutely.
A little bit.
Great cover down the field.
Nice tight toss to Darnell Solomon in front of Brandon Moore. They get a good chunk of that yardage back to set up a manageable third down. 13 yards on that pass. The Bulls trying to overcome a missed field goal and a missed point after already in this first half. A couple of ill-timed penalties as well.
UCF has brought pressure on a lot of third downs today. See if they try to get the ball out of Flowers' hands.
Four-man rush. Griffin nearly had him. Flowers for McCants again. Down to the 44-yard line in UCF territory.
Shaquem Griffin looked like he was shot out of a cannon coming off the edge. Working on left tackle Eric Mays. I think Eric Mays got away with a hold up top on the edge. Griffin still able almost to get a sack, but Flowers, as he does, keeps the play alive, eyes down the field, and locates his target.
Tice, nothing on the edge. Good pursuit by Joey Connors. Boy, every time it feels like Quinton Flowers has needed help, this is the man to do it. A career-high 201 receiving yards. That's almost more than UCF has mustered in this game.
Big body tight end. Said earlier, looks more like a linebacker than a receiver, but production off the charts today.
Five in the pattern for Flowers. All day to throw again. Finally throws it away. What coverage by UCF in their secondary.
This UCF secondary, the coverage off the charts. Nowhere for Quentin Flowers to go with the ball. He looked at all 5 options he had. 5 different receivers down the field. Everyone's covered. No one can break open. Smartly, Flowers just throws it out of bounds.
Now Eric Shenander's defense starting to heat it up. 3rd and 14.
Pressure coming.
Here comes the blitz from UCF. And Flowers is forced to throw it away. The frustration very apparent, reading Quentin Flowers' body language.
Not any time. Eric Shenander, he's dialed it up many times on 3rd down today. Forced Quentin Flowers outside the pocket, and the coverage was good, leaving Quentin Flowers on back-to-back plays to do nothing but get the ball out of bounds.
Out to the 20 will come UCF. You know it's a big game for the Knights today. Look at that. Each individual player has a picture of themselves locked in on the decal and their own hometown's area code on the front of the helmet. That is cool.
And now it's time for We've Got You Covered, brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Central Florida defense has been ferocious against the USF run game. USF comes into the game averaging 277 yards a game. Today, -6. Defensive line has been physical. The tackling in open space has been exemplary. UCF defense getting after it, shutting down this bull rushing attack.
And the Knights offense back out there. Frederick Snelson, the good gain out across the 35. They call this the war on I-4. Adam Amin, Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath at Spectrum Stadium in Orlando. We started the day with 4 unbeaten teams in college football. Miami has already been knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten by Pitt. The number 2 Hurricanes lost earlier today. UCF, one of those unbeaten, sitting at 10-0. Its best start in program history. A program that was winless 2 years ago before Scott Frost took over. Took them to a bowl game last year. A win today for either one of these teams will send them to the American Conference Championship game to play Memphis and put them in the driver's seat to potentially go to a New Year's 6 bowl game. Snelson makes the catch. The tackle made by Ronnie Huggins.
Excellent plant and drive by Ronnie Huggins on the outside and open field. Quality open field tackle. Still waiting on the big guys inside to make something happen for this USF defense. Bruce Hector, Deidre Sanat.
Off the fingertips of Traquan Smith. 4th down.
Mackenzie Milton got off to such a hot start. He's cooled off the last couple of drives as he's behind his intended target, Traquan Smith.
This will be the 3rd consecutive punt for UCF after opening the game with 3 straight touchdown drives.
Brian Jean-Marie, the defensive coordinator of USF, did a nice job making some adjustments, and his defense playing much, much better after that poor start.
Their catch of the 16. Good punt by Mac Loudermilk. College football playoff implications throughout rivalry weekend and 2 huge games on ESPN. Baker Mayfield will not start, and he will not be a captain when Oklahoma hosts West Virginia. Then Clemson, 3rd ranked in the country, rivalry game against their in-state foe, now in the top 25 in South Carolina. Saturday doubleheader on ESPN and the ESPN app. The gesture last week against Kansas, heavily criticized and rightfully so, but Mayfield will play, he just will not start. Solomon on a good strike from Flowers has the first down to the 29. Just a few for Johnson.
Been really impressed today with Tristan Hill, 9, the nose tackle. Jemias Pittman, 5, the defensive end. Big guys inside, really been doing quality work. Winning the line of scrimmage, disengaging, making several tackles. Coming in, it was the USF defensive line that I thought would be highly productive, that really wowed me on the screen, on the tape. But so far today, it's been all about this UCF defensive line.
One of the guys that you were just raving about here is Jemias Pittman, senior out of Moultrie, Georgia, who's being tended to here. Well, Taco Bell is a proud partner of the College Football Playoff. Be on the lookout for Taco Bell student sections and passionate fans like these at games all season long.
Well, Adam, they don't call this the bounce house for nothing. Whenever there are really big plays, this whole stadium gets rocking. The student section is bouncing up and down. We even put cups of water here, and we're watching the water, and you can see some of it is spilling. It's getting everywhere. This place is absolutely crazy. This student section is really fun to be a part of.
Well, it's like a Tyrannosaurus in Jurassic Park's making its way down into the stadium.
Exactly.
This is a stadium that opened in 2007. In fact, it was the first on-campus stadium to open in the 21st century in college football. As Jemias Pittman makes his way to the sideline. They had a $8 million renovation a couple of years ago, a new scoreboard last year, a new sponsor this year in Spectrum on the northern edge of this beautiful UCF campus. And now the bounce house starts to get going again on 2nd down and 6. Flowers making some magic happen with his legs into UCF territory. First big play he's made with his feet in this game. 19 yards. Now back to the air. And a good play by Tyree McCants for a catch.
The concentration on the sidelines by the big receiver, Tyree McCants. Ball's thrown where only his receiver can make a play. Great job reaching out, making that catch, and keeping a foot in bounds.
Now Tristan Hill, a little bit slow to get up. Another member of that stout UCF front. McCants was limping a little bit here after that last grab, which sets a new school record for receiving yards. And we still have 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. He's been the safety valve every time for Quentin Flowers.
Started off with a simple screen. He's such a big body, tough to get down, the excellent effort, the fight, the will to get in the end zone. UCF's turned him loose a few times. Poor coverage has just left him wide open, scot-free. Seen him make catches and plays in about every capacity here for this Bull offense.
Lining that read for a first down to Johnson. May depend on the spot. Looked to be enough initially, but we'll see here. It will be a first down. Flowers sees an alley. And Shaquem Griffin goes sailing over him on that hurdle as Flowers hit the deck. Two athletes on the train tracks heading right towards each other.
When you play a quarterback like Quentin Flowers, you better keep good rush lanes. The nose gets knocked over, a huge hole opens up, and Quentin Flowers, it's a nice pickup.
Incomplete here, 3rd down and 1.
Talking yesterday with the defensive coordinator, Eric Shenander, you've got to keep Flowers caged, keep him caged up. You got to keep guys outside, guys on the inside, but the biggest, most important thing, keeping quality rush lanes. If you get too wide or if you go 3-by-1, too many guys on one side of the center, natural running lanes are going to open up for Quentin Flowers. We've seen it twice now on this drive.
That second effort for the 1st down for Ernest Johnson.
Tristan Hill is out. A.J. Wooten has come in for him. He missed that tackle. An excellent toughness to get the 1st down.
Players were still coming off the field when that snap came and a penalty marker was thrown.
USF's really picked up the tempo on this drive.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Yeah, there are 2 guys in the neutral zone across the line of scrimmage, still running off the field. Bulls look very sharp on this drive, hence the tempo change.
You want to negate a defensive line that's getting off the football and creating disruption? You pick up the tempo, you pick up the pace. Makes it tough on those big body guys in the middle.
Flowers, like dancing and shimmying, didn't have much there. Coming up on the Capital One halftime report with Kevin Nagandi and Booger McFarland. They'll recap Pitt's huge upset of number 2 Miami. What kind of implications will that have towards the college football playoff? And a huge rivalry Saturday with some massive games with playoff implications. They'll preview it all on the Capital One halftime report. Flowers, end zone, Wilcox, touchdown Bulls! A silencer from Flowers, who has been sharp. Already 348 passing yards and 3 touchdowns for Q. This one perfect from Nadelman. The all-time total offense leader in USF history. He's leaned on a bunch of guys, including McCants, who's on the sideline.
Come right out of the slot. Just going to be a go ball, outside release on Shaquem Griffin. And Mitchell Wilcox beats the coverage and an excellent pass over the defender's head for 6.
We've seen throws like that all game long from Quentin Flowers.
Dropping dimes today.
Yep. More explosive plays for Quentin Flowers, who needed just 96 yards today to pass Matt Grothe as the all-time total offense leader in USF history. Matt Grothe, remember, was the quarterback 10 years ago for South Florida in that wild Big East run. Remember when Pitt beat West Virginia in the backyard brawl 10 years ago? How about a little symmetry today with Pat Narduzzi's win over Miami? There's a lot going on when that South Florida Bulls team was running things in the Big East with Jim Leavitt as the head coach. Comeback for Traquan Smith. Good gain on 1st down.
Traquan Smith really does a nice job catching the football with his hands. Last week he had an amazing one-handed catch on the sidelines. Always making quality competitive catches.
Good penetration by Greg Reeves, the former walk-on. A tackle for loss.
Big fan of this guy watching him on the tape. Relentless effort to the football. Defensive end, stand-up outside linebacker. Phenomenal effort as a backside chase player. Gets himself a nice tackle at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd and 2, Bulls blitz, quick throw, incomplete. Khalid McGee brought the pressure.
Brian Jean-Marie, he's dialing up another blitz. Untouched, unaccounted for. It's going to open right up. And Khalid McGee has a free hit on the quarterback. Milton has to rush his throw. Can't step into it. And he fires low. UCF offense started out so hot, has been slowed down these last 4 possessions.
Tajay Fullwood did not signal for a fair catch. Picked up the loose ball, and Jasinski will bring him down near the 40-yard line. A dangerous play, but it sets up excellent field position for the Bulls with 2 timeouts and still 55 seconds remaining here in this first half. Remember that UCF will get the ball to start half number 2.
Talked with the USF coaching staff on Wednesday, and whether it was Charlie Strong, Brian Jean-Marie, Sterling Gilbert, they all spoke to us about the senior leadership. The seniors buying in to what they're trying to do here. And when you look at the way this USF team has fought back, going down early to get themselves back in the game with a position to take the lead, you see exactly what they're talking about that senior leadership.
And here's one of those senior leaders. Flowers out of bounds to stop the clock.
Can't allow Quentin Flowers on the outside to the perimeter. Got to do a good job keeping contained and keeping him inside the pocket.
Flowers looking for Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And the hit by Mike Hughes may have jarred that ball loose just enough. 3rd down.
Another excellent throw by Quentin Flowers. He put it on the money to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. But Mike Hughes gets the left hand in there last minute. Very good man-to-man coverage. You know, Mike Hughes didn't even get to UCF until August the 18th. Been a huge addition to this defense.
Flowers flushed, needs midfield and has the first down. Gap discipline, rush lane integrity. These are big-time phrases used by defensive coordinators when they're facing a good running quarterback.
Somebody better have the edge. You got to keep contained. They're just giving Quentin Flowers easy yards.
Flowers to Valdez-Scantling. What a pick by Mike Hughes!
Well, Quentin Flowers went back to the well, tried the exact same throw, the exact same coverage, up the seam to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And again, excellent coverage by Mike Hughes. Ball slightly overthrown. And a huge interception at the end of this first half. First turnover of the game today, a costly one, as USF was on the move, looking to take their first lead.
17th interception for UCF, tied with South Florida for the most in the American Conference.
False start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Quinton Flowers forced one that time. Just his 6th interception all year. A rare mistake. UCF will get the ball to start the second half with a 1-point lead. Some miscues by the Bulls in that first half.
USF could easily be on top right now. A missed field goal early, and doink, off the upright.
And Scott Frost's team still has the lead by 1. He's with Molly McGrath.
Thank you, Adam. Coach, USF finding some success in the passing game. How crucial was that pick to end the half?
That was a big pick. We've given up too many plays on defense, and we sputtered in the second quarter on offense. We got to make some adjustments and find our rhythm again.
Yeah, Mackenzie Milton cooled off a little bit. What do you need him to do?
Well, that's the way it's going to be against them. They're playing no linebackers right now. They're putting all DBs out there. We're going to have to win against man coverage. We're going to have to protect. We did a good job of that in the first quarter. We got to keep doing it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
41 points, 641 total yards of offense, and at the end of it all, a trip to the title game. Back to the studio in the Capital One halftime report after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
Welcome back to the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series.
Back in Orlando, you're watching college football presented by K Jewelers. Living up to the hype so far. 2 rivals combined 19-1 records, and a 1-point game with UCF in front with the ball coming up. Adam Amin, Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath. Very nice showcase for the American Conference today.
Both teams showing out, showing what they're made of. Both offenses and defenses have shined at certain times. First quarter, it was all about Central Florida. Second quarter, it was all about South Florida. We got a heck of a second half in store.
Are you ready?
Let's check in with Molly McGrath.
Yeah, Bulls coach Charlie Strong really upset with the discipline of his team in that first quarter. He said every touchdown they got was the result of a penalty, so he told his team to calm down, settle in, don't let their emotions get the best of them. They started to settle in a little bit. They were tackling better, and their defense started to improve, but he's not happy very much with their rushing defense, just 48 yards running. He wants more balance, but he is really happy with the passing game. He's happy with the way Quinton Flowers is throwing the ball, and he really likes their yards after catch, guys.
348 passing yards for Quinton Flowers, Molly, in that first half. There is Killins brought down as it's time for our Pacific Life game summary. And UCF started hot.
They did. Mackenzie Milton was fantastic, making plays with his legs, with his arm, little option, a la his old quarterback. Then the next 4 possessions, it was all about South Florida's defense, and Quinton Flowers was going bananas in that first half. Was fantastic throwing the football down the field, allowing his receivers to make plays, and even showing you some of his escapability, making plays in the run game as well.
Jordan Akins is wide open. The former minor league baseball player for the Texas Rangers has a first down. And that is Ronnie Hoggins, the starting cornerback in his 27th career start.
Jordan Akins, a big body, and Hoggins came in to make the tackle, delivered a good hit, but it seems like he suffered the brunt of the blow.
You see him hopping up on his feet. Got a pick this year against the Illini. Impressive South Florida win against a Big Ten team. Their only loss this year came in the final moments against a very good Houston Cougar team. De'Ara King, the quarterback for the Cougars, beat him in the final seconds with a touchdown on the ground. Deidrin Sanat makes the stop. This is the lone loss at the end of October. 4th down and 24, and De'Ara King just launches it up. Courtney Lark comes down with the ball, and this was an absolute heartbreaker to close the game and win it for the Cougars.
Touchdown came with 11 seconds left in the game. Devastating.
How about Milton maneuvering and throwing, but it's going to be ruled incomplete with Killens trying to haul it in.
Killens pleading his case to the referee on the sidelines. I don't think he's going to win that discussion. Good pressure by Mike Love off the edge. You could see Mackenzie Milton so good outside the pocket on the move. That pass, he squares his shoulders and finds his target. Got that quick release, that short throwing motion. It's close. I couldn't see where the toe was. Be a great angle here.
Ooh, that could be a catch.
I think he's in. I got to go with Adrian Killens. Is it conclusive? Excellent job as always by our truck, our camera guys. That's a catch. Ooh, I think that's in. Yeah, that's a catch. That's an excellent concentration on the sidelines by Adrian Killens. That's a running back looking like a wide receiver. Mackenzie Milton continues to impress.
How about that throw that Milton made? And you mentioned it, that different type of windup, very compact delivery for Mackenzie Milton. He had a tendency to drop that elbow a little bit too far last year, so the ball would sail on him. So the quarterback coach, Mario Verduzco, a 39-year coaching veteran who's got a master's degree in biomechanics from San Jose State, did a lot of work with Mackenzie Milton in the offseason, adjusting that elbow, improving the mechanics, and that delivery has been spot on most of this year to the tune of nearly 70% completion rate.
Called him a mad genius. Kind of looks like a mad genius up there in the booth.
After review, the receiver did make a catch at the sideline. It will be UCF ball 1st and 10 at the UCF 49.5-yard line.
And Mackenzie Milton gave as much credit to Verduzco about his ability to really mature and grow in his second year at the helm of this offense as anybody else. Just raved and raved about him helping understand coverages, to process information, where to keep his eyes, as well as Adam referenced, getting all the proper mechanics.
There's Milton. Able to shake past Tajay Fullwood for a first down.
Dual threat. He's got speed on the perimeter. Zone read. The backside defensive end caves down. Great read as Kirk Livingston gets too far inside.
Killens keeping his feet. And finally brought down. Jamon Thomas made that last contact with Killens. Killens working hard for UCF's offense out there.
Great balance initially. See him put the hand down as like a third leg on the ground.
Kind of working on his calf there. Otis Anderson is back in. Miami lost earlier today, knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten. Oklahoma is at home as a number 4 team in the rankings. Clemson, number 3, has to go on the road. Alabama has to go on the road, the number 1 team. We'll hear the new rankings and see them on Tuesday night on ESPN. Milton, the stretch to try to pick up the first down. Looks to be short.
Solid job by the defense, keeping Milton bottled up.
These are the only 3 unbeaten teams remaining in college football after that loss by Miami. Wisconsin goes on the road. Alabama's on the road tomorrow, putting those unblemished marks on the line.
4th down. Scotty Frost going for it.
In plus territory. Milton tosses it. Incomplete, and the Bulls take over. Greg Reeves with the penetration. And USF's defense gets off the field on the opening series of the half.
Well, Scott Frost gambles to come out of the second half. Figure maybe it's going to be a run play, something they allow Milton to utilize his running ability. They're going to take a shot down the field. Pressure from Greg Reeves, and the ball underthrown. And USF in business to start the half.
You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. A de facto division championship game between UCF and South Florida. The winner will advance to the American Conference title game to face Memphis. If UCF wins it, they will host the American title game. If South Florida wins, more than likely Memphis would host the American Conference championship game. It is not a guarantee. It is based on best record and then college football playoff ranking as well. Into a tight window and incomplete. Quentin Flowers nearly got picked by Shaquem Griffin.
Shaquem Griffin, great versatility. We've been talking about the big man inside. Tristan Hill just getting the push, continuing to work, forcing the bad pass.
Pressure off the edge. Griffin. Third time won't get him, but now he goes down, does Flowers. Relentless effort by Shaquem Griffin, the American Conference Defensive Player of the Year.
I study a lot of players on tape. I don't know if anybody gives the all-out effort that you see from Shaquem Griffin. You see the speed rush. He misses once. He doesn't give up. He keeps coming. He keeps fighting. The leader of this UCF football team, the leader of this defense, and one of the best stories you'll hear about in college football.
Looking for McCants again. Incomplete. Good coverage by Neville Clark. Shaquem Griffin was the stud on that third down play. Redshirt senior from St. Petersburg, Florida, born 1 minute after his twin brother Shaquille, who is now playing for the Seattle Seahawks. When his mom Tangi was pregnant with twins, a fibrous strand of amniotic membrane was wrapped around his left wrist, so that prevented the full development of his left hand. When he was 4 years old, he was facing so much pain in that left hand that he finally had that left hand amputated, and the entirety of the last 17 years, he has been a star playing football at every level, and he has done it without the use of a left hand. He and his brother were outstanding high school football players at Lakewood, and they made a pact to each other in middle school that they were not going to separate. So when they went to USF for a camp, Shaquille actually sat out during the camp so that Shaquem could get some more reps and be the headliner. He did such a good job that South Florida's coaching staff finally offered Shaquem a scholarship. But he said he didn't want to accept it because he didn't feel that South Florida gave him the respect that they gave to his brother Shaquille. So the two of them opted to go elsewhere, landed at UCF with George O'Leary. Milton, under pressure, finds Traquan Smith.
Yeah, Adam, you know, he only has one hand, but he doesn't see it as an excuse. Shaquem Griffin in the weight room was fitted for a prosthetic to help him lift. It took a while for him to get used to it. Now he's able to bench press 225 pounds. He can do pull-ups, push-ups, bicep curls, anything with that left arm. And he refuses to wear the prosthetic anywhere but the weight room, saying he doesn't need it.
His dad, Terry, would actually come up with different contraptions when he was in high school so that he could lift weights and do push-ups and do bench presses. And he built up his strength to the point where he can do 225. That's the NFL baseline for how many reps you do at the combine.
Don't tell him that he has a handicap, though. He refuses to allow that to be an excuse for him or be who he is. He has fought. He has been through struggle. He has been through tough times to put himself in this position. Doesn't feel sorry for himself, and he doesn't want anyone else to feel sorry for him. And every time he takes the field, whether it's on the practice field or whether it's on the game field, all that emotion, all those people that have talked about him, that have told him he couldn't do it, he uses that as energy, as motivation. And that's why when I popped the tape on, never seen a guy play with as much effort and as hard as Shaquem Griffin.
Second down and 12 for UCF. Milton pressured, incomplete.
So you guys, this is the prosthetic that Shaquem Griffin wears while he's in the weight room. He was fitted for this when he came to UCF. You can see there's a clamp here, and that connects to any kind of bar when he's doing, weight. He's doing bench presses, he's doing curls, things like that. And when he was able to do his first pull-up, his mom cried because that was a momentous thing for him.
Incredible story. One of the best in college football. First down, Traquan Smith. And UCF is into the red zone.
Mackenzie Milton under duress and pressure. Cool, calm, collected in the pocket on a huge 3rd and long. Finds his go-to man, Traquan Smith.
Penalty marker. False start.
False start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Aaron Evans making his 36th career start. UCF's left tackle. It's a big dude out there at 325 pounds protecting Mackenzie Milton. Milton to the end zone. It is caught. Gabriel Davis, touchdown to UCF. True freshman with his 3rd touchdown in the last 4 games. And it was set up by the defense of UCF. Shaquem Griffin made the big, relentless effort play on 3rd down to get UCF the ball. And on Shaquem's senior day, one of the most emotional players you'll find in college football, using that energy to get his defense off the field. What a story.
College football on ABC, presented by K Jewelers, is brought to you by Nissan, innovation that excites, and Jiffy Lube, proudly pouring Pennzoil Synthetics.
Good to see Lou Holtz, who lives in the Orlando area. Stopped by to see his longtime friend Charlie Strong at South Florida's team Thanksgiving meal at their hotel in Orlando last night. If you're curious as to why this place is called the Bounce House, that was a good visual interpretation of why. This place continues to be energetic for this war on I-4 with the winner headed to the American Conference Championship game.
Some pushing and shoving, a little extracurricular after the kick return.
Saw a little bit of that in the TCU Baylor game earlier today. TCU Oklahoma for the Big 12 championship next week. You'll hear that on ESPN Radio. So here is South Florida once again. Shaquem Griffin, the reigning conference defensive player of the year, against Quentin Flowers, the reigning conference offensive player of the year. And another on-target strike to Darnell Solomon for a good gain on first down. Coverage of the PK80 Invitational presented by State Farm continues tonight. Great matchup in the victory bracket. UConn and 4th-ranked Michigan State. Love watching Miles Bridges do work. You'll get to see it from Portland tonight at midnight Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Flowers swallowed up by Pat Jasinski.
They're going to try to pull backside tackle. Watch the penetration that gets through and disrupts this play. 5, Pittman up the field. Just KOs the pulling tackle. And there's absolutely nowhere for Darius Tice to go.
And Jemias Pittman is back down on the field. We'll step aside. This was Jemias Pittman gingerly walking back towards the medical tent and being tended to before this big 3rd down play. Flowers has Dillon for the first down, and South Florida converts to stay on the field.
Good accuracy by Quentin Flowers, putting that ball out in front so Dillon can catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the needed yardage.
Good pursuit of Tice by Gibson, but Tice is able to get away and get close to the sticks. Enough for the first down. Got a favorable spot to the 45-yard line. Quentin Flowers, the face of this South Florida program, making his 38th career start tonight. And this was a really interesting comparison brought up by our production crew, and I thought this was a pretty good one. Take it back in the time machine a decade when Pat White was running and slinging it.
Pat White was so lethal in that West Virginia offense, and you're exactly right. Very similar to what Quentin Flowers has done here at South Florida.
All day. And he has to get rid of it as Joey Connors was closing in. You know, a decade ago, West Virginia had that run to get to number 2 in the country, lost to South Florida en route to playing Pitt, and then losing to Pitt in the backyard brawl, which killed their BCS title hopes. And Shaquem Griffin is down on the field. UCF's best and most relentless defensive player.
They need him on this defense. And, you know, it was an incredible story. We've already told the story about his left hand. But we were also talking to the coaching staff yesterday. And Eric Shenander, the defensive coordinator, he told us, you know, the first 3 years, Shaquem Griffin was a safety, a backup safety who never saw the field. So the staff came in, they changed everything up. They said, we're going to change schemes, we're going to 3-4. They put all the positions up and the attributes they were looking for in the positions. And a couple of coaches that stayed over, they identified those attributes and they said, Shaquem Griffin will make a great outside linebacker. And they knew within the second practice of spring ball, they had him in the perfect spot. And last year, 20 tackles for loss, 11.5 sacks, and the conference defensive player of the year.
A timeout here for UCF. We'll see if Griffin is able to get back on the field when you return to Orlando in this crucial American Conference game. 3rd down and 7 for South Florida. And Quentin Flowers uses his feet for the first down. all the way inside the Knights' 30-yard line.
Darius Tice, the lead blocker on this quarterback counter, gets up the field, seals off the linebacker, and a big pickup on a crucial third down.
Flowers wants it all. And Valdez-Scantling was well covered by Mike Hughes in what's become a really fun outside matchup between these two.
Mike Hughes can cover. This guy's been fantastic so far today. Tight coverage, working on a huge target. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 6'5", 207 pounds. What a matchup that's been.
They've got Dillon in the backfield next to Flowers. Flowers runs for another first down inside the 15-yard line.
We've talked time and time again about being able, watch him when he comes off the edge. He comes in tight. He needs to come high so that he keeps Quentin Flowers in the pocket. Bad angle by the blitzing safety, Trey Neal.
Tice muscles to the 6. This is some of the magic of Quentin Flowers. Not only his feet, but the ability to process information from his quarterback position as well.
Just such a naturally gifted runner.
They're going to go Wildcat here with Flowers lined up in the slot. Darius Tice with Elkanah Dillon next to him. Dillon the block, and Tice the touchdown!
Well, very enticing play by USF. How about let's watch a pulling guard here, kick out and get to the second level. Just a counter play, follow big 78, and muscle his way into the end zone. Excellent drive by USF to answer UCF.
A one-point game again. Puffin and puffin Quentin Flowers after putting in a whole lot of work on that scoring drive. Allstate is proud to be part of the team that comes together to do good by contributing to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. What a game. Charlie Strong, 57 years of age. 1 year ago Sunday, he was fired as the head coach of the Texas football team. A year later, he's coaching for a chance to play for South Florida's first conference championship. South Florida has been in Conference USA. They've been in the Big East with some successful years. They've been in the American Conference. They've never played for a conference title. They've never won a division title. Let's check in with Kevin Agandi in the studio.
Adam, Dusty, you guys got a good one. We got a great one in Fayetteville. Drew Lock, the Jamon Moore, 43rd touchdown pass of the season. Fourth game with at least 5 touchdown passes. Right now, it's Mizzou up 45-42 in the fourth quarter. Nebraska and Iowa. Iowa opening things up in the second half. They're up big 35-14 in Lincoln. Back to you guys.
Josh Heupel in Missouri done some great things with that offense.
Yeah.
What a turnaround they've had this year.
That terrible 1-5 start. Coming into today's game, absolutely rolling. And playing tight against Arkansas in that rivalry game. Milton picked off! Lonnie Hoggins with the interception! Hoggins had a stinger earlier in this game. He just came back on the field and has the interception.
Well, it's man-to-man coverage on Traquan Smith. Crossing route. And Hoggins undercuts the route. Fantastic job in coverage, making a play on the football. And Mackenzie Milton, he was locked in on his receiver the entire time. He gave it away. And Ronnie Hoggins made a huge play.
And now Flowers takes over at the 40 of UCF. McCants continuing his career day with 6 more yards. Tied for first in the country. South Florida with 18 interceptions. These are such high quality takeaway units, both sides in this game.
USF, they play a ton of man-to-man coverage, man-free. They pressure quarterbacks, and they make plays on the football.
Dearness Johnson broke a tackle. Griffin brought him down at the 24-yard line. Trey Neal with another missed tackle in the backfield.
Trey Neal's coming off the edge. He's the blitzing safety, and Tice runs through it.
Had to get rid of it.
My apologies, not Tice. Dearness Johnson. Very physical run on first down.
Now you bring up Johnson and Tice. Both are roommates on the road. They had to do a lot of work to replace the all-time leading rusher in South Florida history, Marlon Mack, who's making a pretty good impact with the Indianapolis Colts this year. Flowers has not been shy about using his feet to make it happen. Touchdown Bulls, and South Florida leads. In the biggest game of Quentin Flowers' career, he has showed up and he is showing out here in Orlando.
We showed the graphic and the comparison of Pat White and Quentin Flowers. Quentin Flowers looking like Pat White on that touchdown run. We've talked about it all game. Rush lanes. You can't get too many guys on one side of the football. Right there, guys. Look at this. Here, here, here. Look at this huge hole open up right here and the vision. He sees it. He takes it. And it's an easy run for Quentin Flowers. And get him in the open field. Look out. Puts the left foot in the ground. Gets up the field and takes it to the house. Quentin Flowers, 459 yards of total offense and 4 total touchdowns. What a performance.
Mackenzie Milton and UCF back out there. And now Quentin Flowers has become the 6th player in FBS history with 60-plus pass TDs and 40 rush TDs.
And you know what? I don't think it translates to the next level. But who cares? This is college football. This is college football right now, and that's a heck of a college football quarterback.
Ronnie Hoggins had the interception that set up USF on the last drive to take the lead. Late stages, third quarter. And it's Mackenzie Milton back out there for the Knights. Anderson brought down by Fullwood. I think of Jalen Hurts of Alabama. Does his skill set translate to the next level? Maybe not. I think there are other better pro prospects out there. But if I needed to win a game late, Jalen Hurts is one of the first guys I'm calling. You don't need to have the NFL skill set to be a great college QB. Did that ball get held onto by Greg McCray? Even if it didn't, he went out of bounds on a late pitch by Mackenzie Milton.
Mackenzie Milton's getting the fake pitch down very well. Quick fake out Reeves, keeps the pitch relationship. Whew. Dangerous pitch. As Greg McCray goes out of bounds, and they retain possession.
That's a great play for Greg McCray. Milton connecting with Jordan Franks, the tight end. But he's shy of the sticks on the hit by Nichols. 4th down.
Big stop by Dietrich Nichols. Jordan Franks out in the flats, the tight end. He had room in front. Appeared that he was going to be able to get the first down. But an excellent open field tackle by the USF defensive back.
Loudermilk. And a fair catch from Fullwood. This is the biggest game in the state of Florida this weekend. And that's big considering we're talking about Florida and Florida State in that rivalry game squaring off tomorrow. UCF, the highest ranked team in the non-Power 5. Charlie Strong with an outstanding first year at South Florida. But go to Tallahassee. It's been a rocky year for Jimbo Fisher. The most losses he's had at Florida State. Jim McElwain was fired at the end of October. What about FAU? Lane Kiffin doing a great job. They're going to be playing in the Conference USA Championship game. What a topsy-turvy state of Florida. And of course, Miami entered the day unbeaten.
Delay. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They were knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten today with that loss at Pitt.
And don't look now. As we sit here with 2 to play in the 3rd quarter, the only other unbeaten in the state of Florida behind here at home.
24-14. What a win for Pat Narduzzi's team. 2nd straight year they've knocked off a top 2 team. Clemson a year ago, Miami this year. Somehow Flowers finds an alley, picks up 7.
We talked to Sterling Gilbert. I asked him if they keep a pitch count, if they're cognizant of how much they're running Quentin Flowers. And he says, absolutely. We never want to run him too much. So whether it's a called run or he's just ad-libbing on the fly, they keep up with exactly how many times he's carrying it. He didn't run much at all in the first half. We've seen much more quarterback run game here in the second.
And we've seen this all night. A lot of on-target passes into tight windows. McCants with the first down.
Great pass from Quentin Flowers. Tight coverage. Tyree McCants adds to his career day.
And to your point, a lot of those rushes in the second half have been designed quarterback runs.
That's exactly right.
Oh, he just overthrew Mitchell Wilcox. And Quentin Flowers knows it too. We saw that last week against Tulsa. He just overshot one of his receivers, and you could see it on his face. And he knows that he just missed his tight end.
Well, their tight ends do a really solid job in those play-action pass situations of blocking for just a second, then releasing up the field. Nobody accounted for the big tight end, Mitchell Wilcox, but Quentin Flowers just off target.
Ball was on the ground momentarily. Good save by Tice.
3rd down.
You see Flowers talking with Cameron Ruff, his center, after that rocky exchange.
First half, Eric Shenander brought a lot of pressure on 3rd and long. Get the ball out of Quentin Flowers' hand quickly. 6 defensive men at the line of scrimmage before the snap.
Flowers. Deja vu to get the first down. Penalty flag comes flying in.
Holding offense, number 11. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
UCF fortunate because the rush lanes break down again. Huge running lane for Quentin Flowers. He's going to identify it every time. But on the outside, Marquez Valdez-Scantling caught for the hold.
We get ready for the 4th quarter.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
And Charlie Strong's team trying to knock UCF from the ranks of the unbeaten. That relationship between Charlie Strong and Quentin Flowers, when it's on point, it is very good. Last week, without a parent to accompany him on senior night, it was Charlie Strong who brought Quentin Flowers on the field. Now trying to bring Flowers to the finish line tonight. More from Orlando after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back to college football presented by K Jewelers as part of the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series. Winner heads to the American Conference Championship game. Bulls have 3rd down and long to start the 4th. Brzezinski chasing. And UCF bringing the pressure. Able to force the rough throw.
They brought pressure on 3rd and long situations. It's really given Quentin Flowers in this offense quite a bit of issue. Force him outside the pocket. Good coverage down the field. And Flowers, nothing to do with the football but throw it out of bounds.
Special teams, we thought, could be a factor. Jonathan Hernandez with an important punt. With the dangerous Mike Hughes back to return. That's a beauty. That is an absolute beauty of a punt. Long field in front of UCF after the great Hernandez boot. And we'll give him an 8 for the dance. How about that? Well done, Jonathan. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Quentin Flowers, 484 total yards. Tyree McCants has 225 of them through the air. UCF, its first 10-0 start in program history. The winner of this game to the American Conference title game. And now Mackenzie Milton, the sophomore out of Hawaii, trying to lead a go-ahead drive. Anderson crushed by Deidrin Senat, the second leading tackler on the South Florida defense as a defensive lineman.
You know, I sent you some cut-ups, some film from the week of me studying this defensive line of South Florida. Deidrin Senat, excellent nose tackle, takes on double team, sheds blocks, a key cog in the middle of that Bull defense.
Along with Bruce Hector, who's on the edge at the top of the formation. Milton has the first down. Says, I see you, Quentin Flowers. I can make it happen with the legs, too.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
A little bit of that.
Same situation for the USF defensive line. Didn't keep good rush lane integrity. And Mackenzie Milton saw the opening and made him pay.
Looked like a design run that time, and nothing there. Into a dangerous spot for Mackenzie Milton.
Bruce Hector, the big defensive lineman, down the line of scrimmage, making a play.
Oh, man. Crunch. Jordan Akins limps over to the sideline. Big tight end target for UCF. We're going to spread it out on 2nd down and 9. Underneath to Marlon Williams. And Williams has the first down. Another true freshman from Mobile, Alabama. And now he has to limp off the field. It's becoming the war of attrition on I-4.
Jamon Thomas, the safety, misses an open field tackle on Marlon Williams.
And now 2 Bulls are down. Tajay Fullwood and Bruce Hector. Boy, this is starting to show its colors in this game. Black and blue, bruised up, banged around. We'll step aside.
Call you back.
You can't have Frost. What a great sign. That's the sentiment of the folks here in Orlando. They don't want to lose their dynamic young head coach who's led this team to a 10-0 start, along with Mackenzie Milton, his sophomore quarterback. Killen seeking space, and he'll work to the 35-yard line. 2 years ago, in George O'Leary's final season, they went 0-12, capped with a blowout loss against South Florida. No team in FBS history has gone from winless to unbeaten through the regular season in a 2-year span. That's what UCF is trying to do tonight, along with locking up a spot in the American Conference Championship game and putting themselves in prime position to be the Group of 5 representative in the New Year's Six. According to some projections I saw today, if the New Year's Six were to start today, Georgia and UCF would match up in the Peach Bowl. That'd be a heck of a matchup.
Be fun to watch. Feels like the winner of the American's going to get that New Year's Six Bowl out of it.
I would agree with
Boise State out there looming.
Boise State number 23 in the rankings. Milton, dangerous throw, and it is intercepted by Jamon Thomas with a penalty marker thrown.
That was a dangerous pass by Mackenzie Milton. Careless with the football, put it up, but tried to allow his receiver to make a play.
Holding. Defense, number 3. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Huge penalty, though, against the Bulls.
Still, he's got to be smarter with the football.
Agreed. Absolutely.
He was bailed out with a hold there. But that was a careless pass. He was trying to force the ball down the field to make a play. Fortunately, bailed out with the holding call.
And remember, Mackenzie Milton is not a guy who makes a lot of mistakes or forces a lot of bad passes. He is an outstanding decision maker who made a bad decision there. Jordan Akins, the tight end, is back in. Killings. He is a one-cut running back, and he picks up 13.
And that was the cut. He pressed the line of scrimmage, started to his right, one cut back to the left. Nice blocking on the left side. and the speed in the open field allows for the big game.
Fake pitch there. Picks up 2.
You know, Scott Frost has got to keep the true option as a part of his offensive repertoire.
You don't think Scott Frost would abandon the option, do you?
No chance. Basically, this entire offense is an option because there's multiple options on about 95% of every snap.
Killens. And he beats Jamon Thomas to the edge. Run out about a yard shy of the line to gain. 3rd down and short coming up for UCF.
It's great perimeter blocking. Traquan Smith, Dredrick Snelson allows Killens to get to the edge.
Killens stonewalled at the line of scrimmage. Devin Abraham coming up from the safety spot, plugging it with Deidrin Sanat.
Deidrin Sanat inside. The big man swims over the center. In there in the middle, nowhere to go.
Bulls blitz. Another dangerous pass. It is ruled incomplete. And that brings up 4th down. Beg your pardon. It's a turnover on downs. And South Florida with the lead takes over with 10-10 remaining. A crucial stand by the Bulls, and they get it back.
College football on ABC is presented by K Jewelers. K Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. And in part by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific.
Couldn't ask for a better group of misfits to be a part of this season. What a job by the dynamic, excellent women and men of our crew. Especially our fine camera folks. There's Mike. There's Brian Sachs, who brought his 3 kids on this trip, along with his wife. You saw them in that billboard there as well. From top to bottom, it's been an absolute pleasure to work with the wonderful women and men of this group and ask for a better season. These fine folks led by our producer, Kim Belton, and our director, Anthony DeMarco.
Everybody's been fantastic this year. What a great, fun year it's been. And, man, we had some good eats for Thanksgiving dinner last night.
I wasn't complaining,
Quite a feast.
I wasn't complaining. 9:40 to go. South Florida with the lead in the ball. A little bit of heat on that one, and Johnson was able to hold on to it. Big 4th down stop by USF.
Yeah, and it was pressure up the field by the defensive end, Mike Love, and then watch 21, Khalid McGee. Gets in there, it's a shovel to the running back on the inside. They sniff it out. The pressure by Mike Love off the edge forced the ball to come out quickly, and it was well diagnosed and well covered by the USF defense.
Now can the UCF defense come up with a stop on 3rd down? They do! Shaquan Burkett brings down Flowers. Game number 51 for Shaquan Burkett.
We talked about keeping Quentin Flowers inside the pocket, keeping him caged up. Quality job by the UCF defense standing up and not allowing the dynamic runner, Flowers, get loose.
Fair catch from Mike Hughes. UCF ball down 6 when we come back.
Shaquan Burkett, the rushing linebacker. He's going to get a nice rush, and a rush from here. Keep him inside the pocket. Nowhere for Flowers to go. UCF gets the stop. Can they make it count?
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the college football playoff.
A war on I-4. The winner gets the trophy and a spot in the American Conference title game. College football presented by Kay Jewelers as part of the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series. Final 8 minutes. UCF takes over down by 6. Milton has a man. Michael Kalubiali, the redshirt senior, with a 27-yard catch.
If USF defense never located the tight end, works right over the middle of the field on a deep over, wide open, and Mackenzie Milton puts it on the money.
Milton. Sidearm slinging out of bounds. Second and 10. Blitz. Milton. Incomplete. Looking for Traquan Smith. Third and 10.
Greg Reeves, excellent rush. The former walk-on. He's just standing here. He's going to pick his spot. They don't identify where he's coming from. A game with the defensive line. He comes clean and forces the ball out of Milton's hand. Versatility from Greg Reeves, the ability to put his hand down and stand up.
Milton has a man wide open downfield. Snelson, touchdown, tie game. UCF takes the lead. The heavyweight fight we were hoping for. Milton with a punch to put UCF in front. And now Quentin Flowers. Can he counter? Everything we hoped for here in Orlando, we are seeing tonight.
Hey, you know where we want it?
Frederick Snelson with the touchdown to tie it. The extra point has put Mackenzie Milton and UCF back in front, and it is literally lit in Orlando. Johnson with a return across the 20. Kevin Nagandi has some breaking news for us in the studio.
Adam, yeah, we got some news from the SEC minutes after losing 48-45 to Missouri. Arkansas announced that they have fired Brett Bielema. Bielema over 5 seasons at Arkansas, he was 29-34, just 11-29 in the SEC. He wraps up the season 4-8 and 1-7 in the conference. Much more on this story coming up later on. Back to you.
Kevin, thank you very much. Add that to the list of college football openings for head coaches. Things continue to turn on the coaching carousel here in November. And a whistle with a flag for a false start.
False start. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Last touchdown. We'll look at Nelson work his way up. There's confusion in the coverage. They're a man-to-man coverage team. Freeze it there, guys. Confusion, no safety over the top. Driedrich Nelson wide open down the field. It's a busted coverage. Milton finds his guy and puts his team on top.
Flowers. Down he goes. Titus Davis with the tackle for loss.
Titus Davis, the outside linebacker, a force off of the edge. He was the backside player. If Quentin Flowers wanted to reverse field the way that he did, he was the only man that was going to be on the outside to get him down, and a shoestring tackle.
Deep down the field. Incomplete for McCants. It's already been a career day for Tyree, but he could not hold that one down. 3rd down and 18 for South Florida.
Let's see if Eric Shenander is going to bring pressure on 3rd down. We've seen in 3rd and long situations, we've seen pressure forcing Flowers outside the pocket and getting rid of the football.
Flowers tosses it up there for Solomon. Is it a catch? It is! What a play on a desperation heave.
Wow. The pressure got home to Quentin Flowers. He had to rush the throw. High pass. And he gets the foot in bounds. What a play on 3rd and long.
It's a completed pass. Previous play is under further review.
Darnell Solomon climbs the ladder. Keeps that foot in bounds. Great job by the truck. Wow, what a play when their team had to have it. First of all, evading the rush by Quentin Flowers, but then for Solomon to make the grab.
That is absolutely incredible.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
On 3rd and 18, Darnell Solomon makes the play of his career to pick up 20 yards and a first down. My goodness.
And Quentin Flowers under serious pressure. He dodged the initial rusher and just stayed cool, calm, throws up a prayer, and it was answered.
That puts Flowers at a career-high 400 passing yards. He's accounted for more yards than UCF has. McCants. Good open field stop by Titus Davis.
Titus Davis fought through a block out on the perimeter. Really nice job making an open field tackle for a minimal gain.
Back to the sideline. This time it's Valdez-Scantling. Davis ran him out. 3rd down coming up for South Florida as we duck inside of 6 to play.
And if you're the UCF defensive line, If you're thinking keep 2-by-2 relationship, or if you're bringing pressure, you don't want to get too many guys to one side and open up the rush lanes for Quentin Flowers.
Past the sticks, caught by Marquez Valdez-Scantling. First down again for South Florida.
Timing route. Flowers, Scantling on the same page. Excellent throw, and Scantling keeps the ball after a big hit.
Flowers keeps this time. A short gain brought down by Tristan Hill. Top of the hour in Orlando. Adam Amin, Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath, our great crew at Spectrum Stadium. Miami lost earlier today, so only 3 unbeaten teams remain in college football. UCF is one of them. It's been a wild one on this war on I-4. Solomon. There should have been a holding penalty or something there, because Neville Clark grabbed the jersey of Solomon going downfield.
Had to be defensive holding, 100%. Neville Clark, quality cover guy. He was beat down the sidelines. He got a handful of jersey as they were running down the side. Grabs his arm. Deep pass interference, holding, whatever you want to call it. Neville Clark fortunate he didn't draw the flag.
Yeah, he had a handful of jersey before the pass was released. It should have been a defensive holding. 3rd down and 7. Flowers launches and incomplete. Good coverage by Mike Hughes downfield.
Pressure brought again by Eric Shenander, the defensive coordinator of UCF. And it was Pat Jasinski, the inside linebacker, who gets clean, forces the errant throw by Quentin Flowers. Big stand for that UCF defense.
So now Jonathan Hernandez has to punt away again. This one to the end zone. Out to the 20 comes UCF with 4:33 to play. More postseason implications. West Virginia heads to Norman to take on 4th-ranked Oklahoma. Baker Mayfield will not start, but he will play. And then Clemson putting its number 3 ranking on the line in the Palmetto State Showdown as they head to Williams-Brice Stadium to battle the Gamecocks. ESPN and the ESPN app on Saturday with 2 of the current top 4 in action.
UCF just wanted to work this 4-minute offense, couple of first downs, and ice the clock.
Dangerous pitch, but Otis Anderson comes out with it. This is a 1-point game with UCF in front right now. And remember that Emilio Nadelman has missed a PAT off the upright and has missed a 41-yard field goal in this game. The reigning American Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. South Florida defense will have to bail him out. UCF in no hurry. Big first down for Mackenzie Milton.
They almost used Otis Anderson like a lead blocker. Fakes the inside zone, gets right behind his running back. Picks up enough to move the chains. Good read by the quarterback. Use that running back as an extra blocker.
Milton. Incomplete, but a flag is thrown. 2, in fact. Dietrich Nichols was covering the very good target, Traquan Smith.
Pass interference. Defense, number 3. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Aggressive decision by Mackenzie Milton to throw that football down the field. You kind of felt like they were just going to want to run the football, possess it, try to chew up as much of this clock as possible. But he takes a shot down the field, draws a big penalty. It's a good flag by the official. Dietrich Nichols clearly interfering with the receiver.
So it sets them up at the 47-yard line with 3:11 to play. UCF hasn't played a ton of tight games this year. Only one game has been decided by one possession earlier this season. That was against SMU.
USF, they're first. 30 seconds.
Played a tight game earlier this year against Navy, but this is the test that a lot of people expected UCF to receive from their rival South Florida. Adam Amin, Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath with us as well. When you want to be a championship level team, these are the types of games you have to win. You have to eke them out. Right now, UCF in prime position to get this win and move to the American title game.
A couple of more first downs, they ice this game away. It's never easy to go undefeated. You're always going to get somebody's best shot, especially in a rivalry game, especially in a game that has conference championship implications at play. But USF, they came out and they came ready to fight, and give UCF credit after falling behind. They've dug deep here in this fourth quarter to put themselves in position to ice this game.
Still 3 minutes to play. Milton, huge completion to Smith inside the 25.
Otis Anderson with an excellent block to allow Milton with the time to throw a dime down the field to his favorite target, Traquan Smith.
That was one heck of a cut block by Otis Anderson.
True freshman, by the way, who they trusted at Navy in the fourth quarter when they were only up 3. He had 6 of the final 7 possessions, touches, and he has a touchdown that put him up 10.
Another throw to Smith, and he could not hold on. Second down.
Shows a lot to put a true freshman running back in these spots.
Absolutely.
And for him to come up with big plays. Not just on the ball, but off the ball.
He was a high priority in UCF's recruiting process. UCF has a sports medicine degree that Otis Anderson really wanted to pursue. But he was highly sought after by a lot of major programs. Scott Frost got a very key cog for this offense in Otis Anderson. Big blitz from the Bulls. It's a screen against the blitz. The perfect play. Otis Anderson may have sealed the deal for UCF. This is a key extra point to make it an 8-point lead. It's still a one-score game, but this puts pressure on the Bulls. And Matthew Wright nails it.
They call the screen against this aggressive South Florida defense. 66, Aaron Evans, the left tackle. He's going to get up and draw a key block. Defense never saw it coming. Sellout blitz. Perfect call in that situation. Evans gets the kick out. You see the speed in the open field as the true freshman comes up with a huge play to put UCF up by 8. Don't forget, though, if you're South Florida, that's exactly what you wanted to happen. 2:21 left on the clock, 2 timeouts to play, and a big-time senior quarterback that's been in big moments like this before. That's why it was so odd to me that they continued foot on the gas to be aggressive. They kept taking shots down the field. They wanted to score. They've left the door open for Quentin Flowers and the USF offense.
Dearness Johnson out across the 25. Still plenty of time for the Bulls. And 2 timeouts. Time for today's All-State All Hands in Play.
Milton takes his shot down the field to Traquan Smith. All but iced the game. And then the screen pass. You see Mackenzie Milton drop down the arm angle. He talked to us so much yesterday about in this offense being able to change your arm angle around defenders. On full display there.
And now it's Quentin Flowers' turn. Still down 1 score with 2:15 remaining. Good run on first down by Johnson, but a penalty marker is thrown.
Holding. Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Eric Mays tagged with the penalty. Coming up on SportsCenter at 11 o'clock Eastern time after Virginia Tech and Virginia. Number 2 Miami goes down. How does that impact the college football playoff picture? Plus, before the Iron Bowl, Marty Smith goes one-on-one with Nick Saban. And a report from Cleveland as Derrick Rose has to reevaluate his future in basketball. It's all coming up on SportsCenter on ESPN. Clock moves inside at 2 minutes. Flowers has a man. It is caught. Darnell Sullivan. Touchdown Bulls.
There's a discussion going on downfield between linebacker Pat Jasinski and Trey Neal. Clearly a blown coverage as Solomon got left scot-free down the field, and Quentin Flowers wasn't going to miss him.
Nearly 500 passing yards for Quentin Flowers today to set a new South Florida record, and now the 2-point conversion to tie this game. A huge play. Here we go.
Quarterback run game, a big part of the red zone offense for South Florida.
Flowers looking, has a man, tie game! Dearness Johnson makes it 42-all.
For Quentin Flowers, he fooled the defense. All day to throw the football. Quentin Flowers works to his right, buys time. And Dearness Johnson works his way out. Rolls all the way right, and then look at the eyes. He's going to take it all the way back. And wide open in the back of the end zone, Dearness Johnson. Whether that was a design play or that was ad-lib on the fly, it worked to perfection. You roll all the way to one side of the field, have your running back block for a second, sneak out the back door, nobody to account for him, and we're knotted up.
And Quentin Flowers continues to get it done. A school record for total offense in a single game. And we are knotted up with 1:41 to go. Mike Hughes with a head of steam. And Mike Hughes, the kicker to beat. Do you believe it? Knights take the lead on a Hughes touchdown. One of the most dangerous return men in college football with his third return for a touchdown this year.
Excellent blocking by the kick return unit. He gets an alley, makes a couple of guys miss, and then at speed in the open field, Mike Hughes will not be caught. A guy that arrived on campus August the 18th as a late JUCO transfer has been impactful throughout this whole year with his great cornerback play and as a fantastic return man, and he's now got his team up by a touchdown.
And now Quinton Flowers, after that incredible touchdown drive and the two-point conversion, is thinking, I got to do this again, apparently.
He says, let's go. Let's do this. Wow.
What a play by Mike Hughes. And UCF, trying to stay unbeaten, takes the lead on the 95-yard return. Johnson. Nice little alley for Johnson. And he sets up South Florida with good field position and 2 timeouts. Guys, I hope Norman and Columbia are this great. West Virginia takes on number 4 Oklahoma. And number 3 Clemson goes to Columbia to take on 24th ranked South Carolina. ESPN doubleheader also available on the ESPN app. College football playoff implications abound in those 2 games. 7-point deficit for South Florida with 80 seconds remaining. Flowers brought down near the line of scrimmage by Jamias Pittman. Still 2 timeouts for the Bulls, down to a minute. Flowers, incomplete, looking for Solomon. Good coverage by Neville Clark.
Neville Clark blanketing Solomon. It's his left hand up. Nice pass breakup. Will UCF bring pressure? See a lot of pressure by Eric Shenander, the defensive coordinator of Central Florida, here in the second half to try to disrupt Quinton Flowers on 3rd and long situations.
Flowers to the sticks for the first down. Wilcox lost the football. UCF has it with 39 seconds to go. A gut-wrenching moment for Mitchell Wilcox.
Well, Mitchell Wilcox picks up the first down, and Richie Grant punches the ball out. And how about the man who jumps on it? Shaquem Griffin. Fantastic job by Richie Grant. Reminded me of the peanut punch. Used to play with Peanut Tillman. Used to do that all the time and practice it. Punches it out. And Shaquem Griffin, the senior, with an amazing story, who's fought through so much, comes up with the key recovery to solidify this win.
South Florida will use a timeout here. They have 1 more remaining. But it will be for naught. A program that just began play in 1979. A program that just reached FBS status in 1996. A program that 2 years ago suffered through an 0-12 season, only to find themselves 2 years later sitting at the precipice of 11-0, en route to an American Conference championship game and potentially en route to the New Year's Six. What a story here in Orlando for Scott Frost and the UCF Knights.
He talked to us a lot about team unity and about how these guys were selfless. It was about for the other guy next to him. We've seen that play out here this evening. When the defense wasn't able to pick it up, the offense showed up. When the offense was at times struggling, the defense picked it up. A true team win, capped off by a huge special teams return and another defensive takeaway.
UCF, the first team in FBS history to go from winless to unbeaten in the regular season in a 2-year span. 11-0, and Scott Frost and the Knights are headed to the American Conference Championship game as the champions of the Eastern Division, and the war on I-4 did not disappoint. What a job by Mackenzie Milton, the sophomore out of Hawaii, leading the charge for this #1 UCF offense. The Wilcox fumble, an absolutely heartbreaking moment for the South Florida Bulls. Quentin Flowers, who set a school record for the Bulls tonight in total offense, getting the respect from Scott Frost. 11-0 are the Knights. Here's Scott Frost with Molly.
I'm here with Scott Frost, who just had a really refreshing ice bath. Coach, you're known for your offense, but your defensive players came up big. Mike Hughes, Shaquem Griffin. What was your reaction to that explosive ending to this game?
Unbelievable ending. I got so much admiration for their team, and that was one of the best football games of the year. They made plays, we made plays, we just made a few more at the end.
You inherited an 0-12 team just 2 years ago. Now you have a perfect 11-0 record. You're going to the conference title game. You guys are making history. How did you turn things around so quickly?
I don't know. It's all these coaches and these players. They went from 0 to 100 real quick. The effort these guys have given us, the dedication they've given us. We got more to prove yet this year, so we're not going to pat ourselves on the back yet, but what these guys are doing is special.
With success comes a lot of extra attention. Coach, you said it would be a crime to acknowledge all the coaching rumors, but you're headed for the postseason. How do you approach this difficult month ahead?
We don't even think about it. I owe these players that have given me their all my 100%, and that's what I'm giving them, and I'm going to keep giving it to them because we got a good Memphis team coming in here next Saturday. So these kids deserve everything they're getting. It's a special group.
All right, thank you. Congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thank you.
Adam, back to you.
2 weeks ago, Scott Frost celebrated the birth of his first child, a little boy. A roller coaster of emotions that man must be going through right now. Incredible. As is the 11-0 record for UCF. Just under 1,200 yards, 91 points, 49-42, UCF the winners. For Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath, Adam Amin Singh, so long. Back to the studio and Kevin Nagandi.